and get down so that we don't lose it.
No, just squat, Judy. Mucho más.
Okay. Betty,
Mm-hmm.
I believe you told me that you found one of these people?
This lady here.
Mm-hmm.
May.
What's her name?
May Null.
May Null.
Uh-huh. I called her.
Just a moment. We have to stop. Just a moment.
Is that a car?
Watch your boom, Judy. And okay, rolling.
Betty, I think you told me you found this lady?
Yes, May.
Mm-hmm.
May Engel Null.
Mm-hmm.
And this is her son. This was her son. I found her by calling a niece of hers. And she told me that May is still living and lives in Pineville, and that she's about 90 or 92 years old.
Well, we'd like very much to meet her.
Okay?
Okay.
Let's call.
Good. Cross fingers.
Mm-hmm.
If she's that old, there's a good chance she'll be home.
Hello, Ms. Null? Is this Ms. Null? This is Louise. Okay, I'm Betty Hinson over in Belmont. Oh, did you? Well, I'm sorry, I missed you. Can we come over today? Okay. 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 Yeah, it'll take a while to get over there. You're having dinner. Okay. Okay. Listen, I know the way to Pineville. And I get on 51. And where do you live from the square? Past what? Carolina Place. A lot of service stations. And we passed Bojangles. Okay. A fountain at a chiropractor's office. Next road on the right. That'll be Johnson Street or Road. Okay. Top of the hill. And you live in the condo Renaissance Court. And what is your apartment number? Your condo number? 7806B. Okay. A little green Toyota in the parking lot, in your driveway, I mean. Okay. Okay. Park in the third place. Okay. Behind the Toyota? Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay, we'll find a parking place. See you in a little bit. Bye-bye. They were having dinner. She said they ate breakfast late and they were having a late dinner.
How old is she?
I didn't even ask, you know.
Well, we'll see when we get there.
Okay, she's in her 90s,
oh,
I know
good.
that.
Okay.
Well, how did you find her, Betty?
I called her niece, Lorraine Reimer, that I was trying to find when y'all were here, you know, and I couldn't find anybody at home or anything, but I finally got Lorraine, her niece.
Hey, you looked at that picture and you said,
I said, that's May Engel. She was May before she was married, you know, and I didn't know who she married. But I found out that she had married a Null, so her name is May Engel Null.
And she.
They had her listed as Mrs. J.W. Engel.
Mhm.
did you ever hear about people getting food like that during that strike?
Well, I heard Elizabeth Bill talk about it, but not until then, when Elizabeth was talking about it.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
Excuse me. Let me get my pocketbook right here. You want to take your notebook?
Sure. Take care of this picture.
We're gone.
Okay.
You want to take that check over to the drugstore and get that medicine? Okay. Okay.
Okay, buddy, I'll ride with you. If I may.
Okay.
Can you just pick them up outside?
Sure.
Okay, Jim.
Roll.
Okay, when you
Grandma.
you were there in 1932 when Roosevelt.
Yes.
Yeah. It went from. You, sir, could you come over here?
Okay.
Betty, you get on in there too.
Yeah. Betty?
You brought us here, remember?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh.
It's not. Get right.
See, and you are
Phurman Biggerstaff. I'm her son-in-law.
your son-in-law,
Yeah.
and this is Betty Hinson.
Glad to meet you.
I lived below Julius, your brother.
Oh, George.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a wonderful man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he sure was.
And Betty is the one who helped us find you.
Was he?
Yes?
Well, that's
I called
good.
Lorraine.
Oh, that's my granddaughter.
I called her.
You see Lorraine?
Not,
I called
not
Lorraine.
Lorraine Engel. She
Oh.
called Lorraine Engel, not
Oh,
Lorraine.
Yeah, I know her.
Lorraine Reimer.
Yeah.
Engel
Yeah,
Reimer.
she
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you talked to her.
Yeah. And I said, is May still living? And she said yes. And said she's 91
One.
years old. And said she recently had a birthday party. And we went over there. She said they all come over here.
Oh, yeah, I had a crowd at my birthday all the time.
And I want you,
Wonderful crowd.
and you should feel proud of the fact.
Oh, I'm so
That-
proud of my children. I love them to death, every one of them.
Well, let him
They're
But-
great people.
But you should be proud of the fact that she recognized you from a picture made in 1934.
Did you recognize me, honey? Do I look like I did? Do I? Oh, goodness.
Let's see if she can find herself. She runs.
Well, I declare.
Right here. Holding your baby?
34.
Well,
Let me take it out of this sleeve and it maybe help you.
well.
See if that isn't May. Let her.
That looks like Margaret.
More like
That
Margaret.
is Margaret. That's her baby sister.
Ah,
That
I
is
see.
Margaret.
Is she still?
Yeah, she's still
here she
living.
is, right
Ah.
here.
I'll be darned. Do you recognize your baby sister?
That's Aunt Margaret.
Yeah, that's my sister.
Oh.
That's my sister. Oh, yeah, that's my sister. And that's her oldest, Douglas.
Her old
That's
I see.
Douglas. Her oldest. She had 2 boys and a girl.
Do you know who's the person next to her?
I hardly recognize her. Oh, that's my sister, Maria.
Wow.
She, Margaret Little.
Well, yeah.
She's still
I'm gonna tell
living.
her.
She lives down on that where the old Aberforth is.
Goodness.
You're
Where
kidding.
did you get these pictures?
We got them in a library in New York City.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, good. I like
Well, what
it.
we'll
Try
do-
That. This looks like my sister.
We'll make a copy for you.
Are you?
George, why don't you read the
Are
back?
you gonna
of
give
it?
me one?
Okay. What it says on the back of it is that Mrs. J.W. Engel, that's your sister,
Yeah.
and Mrs. James Clodinger, both of the textile of this manufacturing company, that is Belmont, North Carolina, shown leaving a local strike relief station laden with bundles of food supplied by the textile union, which called the strike.
Well,
This is in the 20th of September in 1934.
well,
It's Margaret Garrett, though. It's not Engel there.
I knew that it wasn't Engel.
Mm-mm. It's Margaret Garrett.
But that was her maiden name.
Yeah. Margaret Engel Garrett.
Well, see, I
Uh-huh.
didn't know Margaret and May apart,
Yeah.
actually. And I just knew May.
What it is.
And I
and
thought,
you know me?
yeah, because I've seen you at Julius's house.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, what's your name, honey?
Did you know the other Engel family that lived over there?
Yeah,
in Be-
lived on the hill.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
was
knew them.
Saul and Frank and Ed
Oh,
and Kitty.
Yeah.
I'm Kitty's daughter.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew them.
And
They
Viney.
live at the Eagle Mill.
Mm-hmm.
At them, Eagle
Right.
Mill.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it.
I know this woman's face, but I don't know her name.
It says she's a Cloniger, a
Mhm.
James Cloniger.
I know her face.
Yeah, we lived at the Eagle Mill. Me and my husband moved down there. But boy, I hadn't any children. And when I got pregnant with his wife. My mother-in-law we lived over in the country a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Till after she was born. Then we moved on the hill, and I worked ever since.
Mm-hmm.
I worked in the cotton mill. I wasn't no big. I had to stand up on the railing to reach the rope, and that's how little I was.
How much schooling did you have?
Man,
How much schooling?
I didn't have any schooling hardly. I went to work.
Mm-hmm.
I worked much my work, but I was proud of it because my poor old daddy raised us, and he was a good man. And my mother was a hard-working woman. And you can ask him, she was a good woman.
She was a great
real good
person.
woman.
Yeah.
She must have
That's
been.
a picture
She
of
was.
that.
Oh, that's a great picture. Yes.
Isn't that good?
Sitting down
beautiful.
by herself.
Yes. Beautiful picture. Well, now, do you remember in the early part of when Roosevelt got to be president, they cut the hours from 11 to 12 to.
Yeah.
12 to 8.
How did that go?
I really don't know, but I remember my dad, he worked at the Crescent. He worked 12 hours a day. And then when they went on 8 hours, he would watch on the weekends to make up the hours to make the money that they made. I think he made about $7 and something a week for about 60 or 70 hours a week.
And then when they cut it to
8 hours. What year did they cut it?
1933.
33?
In June of 33.
Yeah.
Well, now, one of the things we're interested in is that right after that, there was a big union organization in the town.
I used to go to them. I was just a kid. I go with my grandmother down at the old lumber yard. You remember
We
the
used
old
to
lumber
get an
yard?
hour for dinner. We went home for dinner. Went back to work.
But could you tell us about those meetings?
Well, they would have people there from, I guess they were from all New York and around trying to organize the people. But the people in the South, you can't lead them. They won't lead.
Do you remember a fellow named Paul Christopher who came over from Shelby?
Not really. I was just a kid myself then.
He wasn't that
24,
baby.
33. I was only about 9 or 10 years old at that time. But I remember going to the meetings.
Well, did you remember talking about the union or joining the union when you were working in the factory?
Yes. That's all I talked about. Join that union.
Did you join?
No, I didn't. I wouldn't join.
What
But
about
my
you?
daddy, he did, and all my brothers, oldest brother, my brother, they had to join it, or they wouldn't have no job.
Why was that?
Well, they wouldn't let them work. If they didn't belong to that union, they wouldn't get to work.
I see.
Well, they had to belong to the union, so they get to work.
Now, the employers didn't say that they had to join, did they?
No, but if you didn't join that union, you couldn't work.
They never did
Don't
get the
you
union
remember that?
seen
You don't remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
got
wouldn't
fish
know
spot
about
batteries.
Did a long
I
time.
know. He built some cabinets in my aunt's house.
Where'd you work with it, anyway?
I didn't work with him. He built cabinets in my
he
aunt's
did
house.
cabinets and houses and all.
Yeah.
Did you know Lee?
Yeah.
Lee, my brother. You
yeah.
know him?
Uh-huh.
Did you?
Yeah.
Lord, he's a wonderful man. Great worker.
Now, you lived on the village, did you?
I lived on the Crescent Mill Village.
Yeah.
Moved there when I was 6 years old.
And how long did you live there?
Till 1964, off and on. I moved
He
from
married
mill to
my
mill
oldest
and
daughter.
around.
I see.
He's a wonderful man. A hard-working man. I'll tell you the truth, he works all the time.
Can I see them pictures?
He's a
It's
hard-working
not,
man.
it's not your mother, it's Aunt Margaret.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Aunt Margaret and Douglas.
Well, is Douglas still
You
living?
see,
Yeah.
Margaret,
Oh,
you
yes.
see Margaret
Oh,
there,
how
I was Douglas.
sweet. Oh, I remember her
That's
good
Margaret.
because
Does
I
Margaret
took care
look
of
like
this little
herself?
thing. Oh, yeah, Mom. She looks like she did right back then.
I still have no
I
voice.
looked like her then back
Okay.
then.
You want to see some more pictures, huh? Okay.
Oh, this is
You
St.
got some I
Margaret.
know?
You gotta go there. They'd
You
get
got
the
some I
biggest
know
kick
there?
out of
I
this.
don't know.
No, don't
Here's a big parade in Gastonia. with people from Renlo. Did you know
Renlo.
people from Renlo?
No, I didn't
did.
work at Renlo. I didn't know nobody worked at Renlo. But I went Lloyd Road over years and lots of time.
You know what? This lady has something more to say about this picture.
Are they coming out of work? Or what are they doing?
You know what, Judy?
You know what? They'll explain it to you if you walk in a little bit.
They're at a union meeting, honey.
Oh, was that?
No, that's
It's where they're giving them food.
where they're giving them food.
Oh,
during the strike.
But what is it?
I was too
Oh,
little
that's
to
my
know.
sister Margaret.
Say it, wouldn't say.
And that I know her, but I can't think of her name.
Cloninger.
Huh?
Cloninger. Mrs. James Cloninger.
I know her face.
I know.
She was just a kid when I know. But Margaret looks like herself, but she really, that's
You gotta
Douglas.
go make Margaret's.
You think Margaret looks like herself?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Mama.
She's awful little and slim.
Well, who's the oldest, Margaret or her?
Hey, Grandma's
Oh,
so old.
Mama's she's the youngest. Mama's the.
They're the
other
only
one.
two living.
Mama's 90. I think Margaret's just 74.
There you go,
Oh.
Belmont.
Did you know that she joined the union? Your sister?
No, she didn't have that.
I don't. She wouldn't know. But I don't have any idea any of them
Which
joined.
one was this at? I know
They
what
may not
Imperial,
have.
'cause
I
she
don't
was
think
there.
they have.
I don't know whether.
It's in
And
Belmont.
here's another parade in Gastonia on Labor Day in
I wasn't
1934. Yeah. Do you remember going to any of those big
He
parades?
probably wasn't
No,
around Labor Day.
all I remember is going to the meetings over down there
Oh,
at
you
the
got
old,
lots of
old lumber
pictures,
yard.
Who'd you go with?
My
lots.
grandmother.
Douglas is so little.
Let me see the one from Ranlow because I had an aunt that lived at Ranlow.
Okay, here that one.
And I knew some people.
Got all them pictures.
Uh-huh.
Gastonia, North Carolina.
You've been around too, must you?
That's right. Well, a lot of these from South Carolina and other places. A lot of these are from South Carolina and Georgia.
Gastonia really hadn't changed that much, has it?
You'd recognize Main Street, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't you love to
sure.
have one of those A models?
Mm-hmm. My dad had one. First guitar he ever had was a 1929 T model. Then we had the 1932 A model. That's where I learned to drive, the A model.
What did you do in the mills?
Well, I started off dolphin spinning, went from dolphin spinning to dolphin twisters, from dolphin twister to running twisters, from running twister to section hand on automatic spooler.
Could you
Went
say
all
that?
the way through.
Could you say that one more time? I was a little out of focus.
Okay.
Just look at him like we're not here
I started off dolphin spinning, went from dolphin spinning to dolphin twisters, and from dolphin twister to running twisters, and from running twisters to a section hand on an automatic spooler. And then I left and went to New Jersey.
And when you started out, what was your average weekly wage?
I learned
32 and a half cents an hour.
don't
What, about $13 and something a week.
I done that about everything in the mill.
And when you were finishing out,
I was making $1.50 some cent an hour.
Yeah.
No, $5.50 an hour. I'm sorry.
George, why don't you explain to everybody who we're looking for and why we're trying so hard to
Yeah.
find these folks?
Okay, you see, we've got newspapers that tell us about those big meetings and all of the organization and all of that in around 1932, 33, 34. And we're trying to find some people who helped set up those meetings and organize them, you see. Do you remember any of the people who led that?
No, I really don't. I don't imagine any of those people are living by now.
I wouldn't think so
No.
either.
What
No, I
about
wouldn't think
what
so.
about a fellow named Red Lisk?
I know the name, but I have no idea where or whatever
Lisk.
happened to him. Yeah, I think he was one of the speakers at a lot of these meetings.
He was.
Yeah,
That's true.
yep. I remember his name now, but I can't picture him. Or
Now, a fellow that came from New York was named Francis Gorman.
I just remember the people up there on the platform telling the people about the Union,
Yeah.
what they could do for them, and all of that.
What about a fellow named Alton Lawrence?
No,
He
the
comes from
name-
my hometown, Winston-Salem.
The name doesn't
Yeah.
ring a bell, but the red did. They call, I can remember calling him Red. That's all
Yeah.
they called him.
Well, he was known as 6-Hour Red because what he was trying to do was to get
6-hour shifts.
6-hour shifts so they could have 4 shifts
Mhm.
so they could employ more people.
That's what they should have done back years ago. Really should have done. But raise the wages equal to what they were making.
Well, that was, I think, one of the things they were trying to do. That was one of the things that the union was trying to do.
Yeah.
Well, now I can remember when my mother went to work at 6 and got off at 6.
12 hours a day.
Because my grandmother kept me, you know, and at 6 I would go out on the porch and peep through the banisters, you know, and wait for her. They'd tell me it's about time for mother to come home.
My dad, he worked all of his life on 3rd shift. Till he on about 2 years before he retired.
Did you know the Angels? Angels. I'm Jelly, Angel, John
Nope.
Angel.
I didn't know them, no.
You didn't know him?
No.
That was my daddy.
I see. Where would your folks come from?
They come from up in the mountains. Burke, up there. That's where my daddy's mama was born at and raised at. The mountain.
Did you keep relatives up there after they came down?
My grandma and grandpa lived up there, and they all moved down here.
They all moved down.
Yeah.
So you didn't go up there to the mountains to visit?
We went sometimes. About 4 or 5 years. We'd go up there.